Hi, my name is Quinten Hyde and welcome to the Quinten Hyde podcast. I've been having an absolutely terrible last couple of days, and what brings more joy to me than reading statistics about stuff that I have made, which was something that someone has suggested on the last episode. She was like, "Hey, what about you?" I'm pretty sure it was she. I'm pretty sure it was Kara, but now I'm confused. She was like, "Hey, why don't you read some interesting stuff about your statistics?" And I thought, what cheers me up more than statistics? And sadly, everything I just said was true. Statistics do kind of cheer me up. Isn't that is probably the nerdiest thing I've ever said, but it's true. So what I've been doing is I've been scouring through my YouTube, like my main YouTube, Quinten Hyde's statistics, to find the most interesting bits. Because obviously you're not gonna sit here and want to hear about me being like, oh, you guys, do you know what my click-through rate was on this specific video? You're not gonna believe, you don't care. You most likely don't care. So I tried to find some stuff that I thought was the most interesting to point out. And if you like me, I don't know, maybe you'll find it interesting to hear these kind of things as well. So let's just dive on into it. I have my notes here on my left. So the first and foremost thing is that my overall channel click-through rate. Yeah, okay, I know I just said that you wouldn't find that interesting, but let me tell you, just channel-wide, it's currently 6.4%. What this means is that on average, when someone sees my thumbnails, 6.4% actually clicks on them. And you're probably like, oh, that is low as heck. It's not. You see, everything from 5, pretty much is the rule of thumb, is quite alright. And to have that as a channel average with a bunch of really terrible old videos, like almost 1,000, more than 1,000 terrible old videos, to be able to crank that up this high because of you, but also, me, because I make this stuff. That's awesome! I was actually surprised about that when I saw it. I was like, oh my god, really? That's so cool! Also, fun fact, I can see what search terms are searched for most, which then leads to one of my videos or my channel. What do you think is the most searched thing that people type in to get to my videos that make them find any of my videos? Just think of it for a second. You can think of either my most popular videos or anything, but you've probably gotten it. The most popular search term to get to me is Quinten Hyde. Just type my name and you find it, which makes sense. But the funny thing is, you know what the second most searched thing is that makes someone ends up on my channel right now? It is, what does beer taste like? Because once, when I turned 21, I tasted alcohol-free beer for a video, just to be like, hey, fella, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what this is actually about. I don't drink alcohol, but I was curious as to what beer would taste like, so I asked a bunch of beer, enthusiasts, hey, what is the alcohol-free beer version that tastes most like its alcohol-having brother? And they were like, this one. So I got that one, drank a little bit of it on a video, absolutely despised it, and that video is still doing really well, and people are searching for that a lot, and then finding that video, and then leaving hate on me, saying that I'm a beta male for not liking beer. And they would proudly put, it is actually cringy as hell, because they post things like, oh, this guy's such a beta. I've been drinking beer since I was 12. And this guy, he hates it. That's crazy. I'm just kind of like, that's not a good thing, fella. You're flexing with something that is just poor parenting. You're being like, oh, that thing that's genuinely bad for you? Here's the thing. I don't hate on you if you drink alcohol, right? Go ahead. Go right ahead. But the same way that you might know that I sometimes smoke marijuana is not good. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, actually, it's pretty great because blah, blah, blah. No, it's not good for you. And neither is alcohol. So it's not a flex to be like, my parents just didn't give a shit. And I was doing it as a kid at a time where it's significantly worse for you. Also, everyone who unironically uses alpha male or beta male, there's something wrong there. I don't know. It makes me laugh. Here's the funny thing. I don't get hate, hate doesn't get to me because I think of myself so incredibly highly, which I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I think of myself so highly that it doesn't really do much to me. I'm not sure if there's only one, I think there's very few things that would actually get to me, and I don't get those at all. But things about me or how I am or my appearance or my voice or anything, It doesn't matter to me. I got this hate comment on TikTok the other day, I think it's been like a month now, but which was, your nose is so huge. And I don't know, I thought it was really funny because I have a pretty sizable nose. You don't see it that much like when I'm wearing glasses, but I have a pretty big nose, and I don't know, I thought it was really funny. Just, sorry, a little sidetrack. Something also interesting is that I can see what external websites are driving most traffic to my YouTube channel or videos. The main one being Google, which is not crazy because, you know, you can search for me or search for anything that I've ever made a video on. Google serves it to you. Makes sense that it's number one. But here's the thing. I found two really strange ones in there. The first one being TU Delft. Turns out that website is owned by, like, TU Delft. Delft is a city here in the Netherlands, or I don't know if it's a town or a city. I believe it's a city, but... And it's literally like a museum? So I just like started searching like on Google, like TU Delft, Quinten, Hyde, you know, using quotation points, all of that stuff. I cannot find it, but it's given me 14 views, which is not a crazy amount, obviously, in comparison to the other things. But what did they post? What did a museum post about me with a link? Because it only works if you add a link and someone clicks that link, and then it's like an external source. So I'm kind of like thinking, what is a museum? What video could I have done that would have been interesting for a museum to post on their website? Like, maybe I'm crazy and I'm missing a very obvious one, because I mean, I've made so many things I often forget what I've already made, but I cannot think of a single thing that would be interesting for a museum to post, but it's hilarious to me. The second one, I think this one is even funnier, is Prezi or whatever you call it, which is like an online PowerPoint keynote kind of thing. Like, you can create like an interactive presentation on Prezi, which you can then present on like school, work, whatever. You don't really use it like professionals don't really use it, but it was great during high school for me too. The thing is, if I got a view out of Prezi, it means that someone embedded my video or put a link to my video in their slideshow, and then shared the slideshow, and someone else clicked the link or video within that person's slideshow. And I just can't help but think, who is making slideshows that has my videos in there? And the sad thing is I couldn't see what video it was, because like there's a lot of data that you can't see anymore due to like new regulations and laws on privacy and data, which suck, by the way. But I'm so curious who made a presentation where at some point they felt like it needed a Quinten Hyde video. Oh God, I'll never find out, but I'm so curious who did that and for what reason. Also, you can also see what playlists give you the most views, like someone else's playlist. Turns out that my the playlist that I don't own that give me the most views is someone else's liked videos playlist. Like, there's someone out there who apparently likes my videos and then has like a significant amount of people look into their liked videos playlist, like everything that they've pressed like on, and then they collectively started watching that, and with that my video. Have you ever, like, be honest, have you ever at any point watched through someone else's liked list? I haven't. I barely even know how to get there, to be fair. If you ask me right now, can you get there immediately without failing at some point? No, I don't know how to find it. Or is that like in someone's playlist list? Because you have a playlist list on someone's channel, but like, I genuinely don't know, but I find it funny. Additionally, this is like an older story, so that one doesn't happen anymore. But me and my friend Jasper once made this video called Switching Lives for a Day, where we literally changed outfits, changed our hair to look slightly more like each other, and then started acting like each other for like a whole day, which was funny. That one turned out in someone's fetish playlist. There was someone who had who got like turned on by seeing people switch lives or switch brains. Like, that playlist was 2,000 videos long, and they were all about people either acting like each other or like cartoons or shows or scenes from shows where someone's brain got like swapped. You know how that sometimes happens in like cartoons or like sci-fi movies where they're like, oh my God, we changed bodies. You know that? 2,000 videos long of a playlist, and people watched it like a lot. They like, apparently that's a thing and people like it. And I was fascinated because that video started to do like super well at the time. And I looked like, where is this coming from? External playlist? And then I clicked and it was like fully that. I was fascinated. Because I don't fully understand as to why that's interesting to you in that specific way. Like, I respect it, like, go ahead, but I wonder why. But I do like sharing that story. I think it's very interesting. Also, something else that's interesting, when we're talking click-through rate, so the percentage of the people that see the video and then click the thumbnail or the title, for my Psychic Finds My Soulmate video was ginormous. Like, people have been loving that one, clicking it hugely. YouTube has been promoting it because of that reason. Like, it is genuinely doing so well. I don't know why though, because that was not one of my favorite videos because I did it alone. I usually don't love doing videos alone. I like it more when I'm doing it with other people. But that one did so well and people like, I do feel like it's a good thumbnail and title. I do feel like it's a good thumbnail and title, but it is like, I don't know what, but the funny thing is, the click-through rate is not great in suggested. So when people find it on their homepage, they're like, oh, this is awesome. But if they find it on the side or like underneath a video that they're currently watching, pretty much no one watches it. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it probably has a reason that I'm not seeing right now, but I don't know. I was kind of fascinated on that one. Something also interesting. You know how you can click, pardon me, the bell icon and then enable all notifications? Which, I mean, you could do, by the way. Just a little hint out there. Because then every time someone posts, for example me, you get a notification that's like, hey, Quinten posted this video right now, would you like to watch it? And YouTube now tells you how many people have that enabled. Out of my 6,400 something subscribers, 765 people have enabled all notifications, which is super flattering. Almost 1,000 people consistently, every time I post something, get a notification that says, hey, Quinten posted a video and you wanted to be notified of this. You know how flattering that is? More, like almost 1,000 people. I mean, it makes sense. I feel like that is why my videos have been doing so well recently. I feel like a lot of people have started to turn that on. And man, that is very good for my self-esteem. See, I already told you, I've been feeling awful this whole day. And yesterday, and also Friday evening. God dang it, this has not been a great weekend. But see, talking about this, it's good for me. It makes me feel good. Thank you for that. Even though you don't really have a choice because I'm making this. But even if you, yeah, okay. Still thanks though. I appreciate it. Also interesting is you can now see how many people rewatched your video. Like for like a second or a third time, because you can see how many views you've gotten. You can also see how many individual viewers there were. So for example, if you have 1,100 viewers, like 1,100 views, but 1,000 individual viewers, that means that 100 views are replays, implying that maybe 100 people watched it twice, or like 50 people watched it no, wait, that doesn't make, wait. Okay, I'm terrible at math. This doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay, well, you get it though, you get the concept. So it's super funny, because I saw this one. The Psychic video, again, that I referred to earlier, had like 100 extra views on top of it, meaning that probably, just for the sake of math, 100 people might have fully rewatched that thing, or like someone might have watched it 3 times, or even more than 3 times. Which is, again, so flattering, but I don't get it. I barely ever rewatch a video. If it's a short video, like a 1 or 2 minute, like TikTok or something, I mean, you don't have 2-minute TikToks, but still, you know what I'm trying to say? I might rewatch it if it's really funny to me, but something longer than like a minute, like 2 minutes, I will never rewatch. Like, even like, people are like, oh, what are your favorite movies? I don't have favorite movies, because I actually don't know. But like, imagine, even movies that I love so tremendously, or like shows, I don't rewatch them. Because I know exactly what's happening. Why would I rewatch, like, take so much time to rewatch something? Well, I could just take something that I already know, or like that I don't know yet. It's gonna be new. So that's why it's flattering to me that there's like quite a few people who are like, I like this so much, I would like to see it again in its entirety or even partly. That's cool. That really does feel cool. Oh. Also, I can't go into detail on this one because legally Google doesn't allow that. But my CPM is pretty dang high for an entertainment channel. A CPM, which also stands for cost per mil, which means the amount of money I get for every 1,000 monetized playbacks. which means every time you either fully watch an advertisement that I have or click on a link or watch like a larger part of an advertisement if the advertisement is long, if that makes sense. So for example, say an advertisement is 7 seconds long and you finish that one, it's a monetized playback. If it's 20 seconds long and you skip it after 5 seconds, it's not a monetized playback. Would you finish that 20 seconds or click the link, that would make it a monetized playback. You know, that makes sense. And every 1,000 of those, you get a certain amount of money, which depends on who you are, where you are, what kind of videos you make, who watches your videos, all of it. And entertainment channels usually have a very, very low CPM. So you don't get a lot of money every 1,000 monetized playbacks. The rule of thumb for most YouTube channels is around $1. So like say $1 RPM, which means, you know what, I'm not going to go into detail on that. So say if you see a video out there that has 1 million views, you could assume they have around $1,000 because 1,000 is 1 million. And because not everything is a monetized playback, etc. But I can't tell you because that's not allowed. My CPM is really high for an entertainment channel, which is great because that means that YouTube finds both me and you like valuable money-wise, which is cool because I don't fully understand why and how it works, but it is nice though, and especially last month, September, has been a ridiculously ludicrous, oh man, I wrote it down with like a cool word. Lucrative, that's the word. I was gonna say ludicrous, but I'm pretty sure that's like a rapper, right? It has been a great month, money-wise. Like, I don't make a ton of money on YouTube. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not gonna be able to pay my rent off that just yet. Nope. I mean, no, definitely not. I was thinking maybe I'm getting close, but then I realized no, not at all. I'm terrible at math. But I do get more than people think. Like, people often make the jokes like, now you can buy a Big Mac. I could buy more than a Big Mac with the money that I get paid from YouTube. And I thought that really means a lot too, because every cent that I make online brings me closer to my ultimate dream of doing this full time. So it means a lot. Also, I've started, like a little side note, I've started this, I created like this separate checking account, like a bank account. And every money right now that I make online, whether that's YouTube donations, TikTok donations, Twitch donations, YouTube, ad revenue, sponsor deals that I do, stuff that I do with companies that you don't get to see, which is funny by the way, because sometimes I work with companies, they ask me to make a video for them, but not post it. They just want to have it and use it for their own platforms. So that sometimes you might actually see an advertisement with me in it that I've made for them. So all of that money I put in that separate account, and all of that money is, I've decided it's got to be video budget. So like whenever, imagine there's like 1,000 in there or something, then if I have like a YouTube video idea that costs me like 250, this is specific by the way, but I have a YouTube video idea that costs me 250, and oh god, I want to make it happen so bad. But anyway, when, like, imagine that happens, I can just take that out of there, it doesn't affect me financially because the money that I use to live is in another account, all that. I think it's a cool thing to bring that up. So every money I make through my online stuff ends up going back into YouTube videos for the time being, and I think that's cool. And where was I on my super cool list? Oh yeah, I have more female subscribed viewers, but more male non-subscribed viewers. If you identify as anything besides that, well, YouTube doesn't take that into account, and neither does any other platform, so sorry about that. YouTube, as well as Facebook, as well as TikTok, as well as every platform lists you as male or female. And they base that based on the kind of stuff that you post, algorithms, all that kind of stuff. It's really in-depth. It's kind of crazy. So funny thing is, my like tight community essentially, and people that watch me everywhere and like me most and follow me everywhere, are around 70% female and 30% male according to stats. It's funny though, but because of all those beer video views, my overall channel views are more male, because for some reason men beer, they like it so much that I don't know, that they feel like the need to watch my video to see what I think of it. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Why would you care? Like, I really love, what do I really love? I don't know, smoothies, but you don't see me watch people drink smoothies because I don't give a poop. I'm not drinking them. Why would I, you know? Does that make sense? Okay, it's a terrible comparison, but anyway. Also funny, it's pretty much the same across the board. When I look at stats in YouTube, like subscribed, but also TikTok and Instagram, it's pretty much all 60% female, 40% male. Everywhere around the like clock. And it's cool because I never really understood as to why. And one time I was doing a live stream on YouTube. I think that's been like 2 years or something now. And there were 15 people watching, and I think around like 11 of them were female. And I asked them, hey, why is this the case? And they told me something that I still hold very dear. And they said, first off, a lot of us think you're cute. That was a huge ego boost. But second off, you feel like you're a genuine but also safe guy. I would let you hold my drink during a party. I know that you would never over-sexualize me for no reason. I would feel comfortable being with you in a room alone or in the dark at night. And that is a huge compliment. That is an amazing thing to hear, because it's sad that that is actually a compliment. Like, it's sad that that has to be a compliment, that the world isn't just normally like that. But that really does mean a lot to me. So that is great. That gives me a good feeling in my chest. So when it comes to age, you can't track anyone under the age of 18 anymore when you're in the European Union because of the new GDPR laws, which, I hate the GDPR laws. They are terrible. They're so bad. Like, protecting privacy is one thing, but the way they do it is just horrendous. I have to deal with it for work a lot. It's awful. Regardless, I can only see stats on people older than 18, and most of my viewers, when you take away everyone under 18, are 18 to 24. I have a significant part of me watching, like people watching me who are 18 to 24, but I also know that most of my viewers are 13 to 17 because that is my target audience most of the time. Just, there are outliers, obviously. And it's fun to see that people like me both as younger teens as well as like people in their 20s. Because that makes me feel like a Cartoon Network cartoon. You know how Cartoon Network cartoons are often geared towards like teens? But they're so fun that older people like them too. I feel like, I try to feel like that. I feel like that's, I don't know, it's a good feeling. I like it. Also, a lot of people always tell me, why do you make your videos in Dutch, in English, while all of your viewers are Dutch? That's how those people sound like to me. Like, oh, like always complaining about that stuff. Here's the thing though. I can see where my views come from on YouTube. 32% is Dutch. Sure, that's pretty much a third, but you know who also speaks English? The Dutch. So stop complaining, fella. Also, I hate Dutch content like 90% of the time. I think 90% of the time it's just horrendous. Yeah, 32% is Dutch. The second largest country is the US with 18%, so almost a fifth. Then under that is India with 7%, UK with 4.5%, and the Philippines with around 3%. All of the other percentages are just smaller percentages of countries around the world, but it's funny to me. And you know where most of the India views come from? This video called What to Do If You Accidentally Liked a Photo on Instagram, which was actually a comedy video, but apparently this happened so much over there that they consistently have been watching this video for 3 years now. And it is actually one of the top performers that is still doing well today. Some other top performers right now that are old still do super well are creating the perfect Tinder profile scientifically in 1 day. That one low-key hurts now I think about it. For personal reasons. Oh god, I was so happy back then. Anyway, tasting beer. You know, the one that I talked about earlier, that one still does very well. As well as Hay Fever made me a cyborg, in which I reviewed, like, because at some point I didn't even do fully like comedy things, I just did everything at some point. Where I put like this little hay fever machine up my nose, it like made my whole face glow, and it helped, and I reviewed it because I have bad hay fever most of the time, but that one really helps. And for some reason that one is still being watched because everyone is wondering if it actually works. It did for me, it did not for my mom. It really depends on the person, in case you were wondering. And two subjects that I've made multiple videos on that are all doing very well, even though it's years later, are things about autism, which I have, and things about the country of Argentina, which my first girlfriend was from and I visited. That is all of the most interesting statistics that I can tell you right now from my main YouTube channel, Quinten Hyde. If you made it all the way through, you must either like me or statistics, and I really hope it's me. So that'd be cool. If you want to let me know anything about what you thought, if you have any questions and you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment. If you're listening to this on like Spotify, for example, you can always tweet me at Quinten Hyde, and I would love to hear what you thought. Thank you so much for being here. This actually cheered up my mood quite a bit. I hope it stays like this the moment I stop recording, but thanks for being there, and I would love to see you next time. Bye bye.